It was tense in the middle of the dense forest as Xena, a former police dog, took her owner John on a strange trip. John could feel she wasn't as calm as usual. She seemed restless. They felt something strange in the air. What was it? They had no clue, but they were about to find out. As they moved forward, they knew they were in for something big that would change everything. John called to Xena, but she ignored him and ran ahead, feeling rushed. Something in the woods had made her tense, and John could feel it worsening with each step. As they got closer to a big dead tree, Xena's barks broke through the forest's silence and echoed off the old trunks. John's heart beat faster as he tried to figure out what was making her so upset. The top of the tree that had been cut out looked scary, and the dark insides were a mystery. With fear in his heart, John moved closer, but not quite close enough. John tried to open the trunk with a sharp rock in his hand. His mind was running with all the options. What might be hidden inside the tree's hollowed-out parts? As he fought to tell the truth, his fingers squished against the rough bark, and his breath came in short, sharp gasps. With one last, determined blow, the tree split open, showing a sight that chilled him to the core. A hand sticking out of the darkness. John was scared as he turned away from the horrible sight. He got chills when he thought about what he saw meant. John was sure he had found something much scarier than he had ever thought. The scene looked like something from a bad dream. John reached for his phone with shaking hands, thinking about how important it was to call the police. That being said, as he called the number, he felt uneasy. There was something strange about this crime scene that made him think there was more to the story than met the eye. John got ready for the scary trip that lay ahead. Xena was by his side, and the secret of the hollow trunk was starting to make sense. As the police arrived at the scene, the air was tense and full of expectation. Xena stood still, next to John, her sensitive ears picking up on every sound and movement. Soon after, her old manager, Jerry, showed up. His presence was a welcome calm in the chaos. Jerry and Xena had a strong bond from the years they had worked together on the police force. The investigation picked up speed when Jerry showed up, and each new piece of information brought them closer to the truth. As they looked at the empty tree together, they knew that its depths held secrets that could destroy their world. For some reason, seeing the bloody police outfit made Jerry feel cold, and his mind was full of questions. As they worked to get the proof out of the tree, Jerry couldn't get rid of the thought that they were in danger. When the uniform was found, it was a sign of a dangerous plan that went far beyond the forest. With Xena by his side, Jerry promised to solve the puzzle no matter what. Thoughts turned to their last case, together, as they went through the evidence. That case had left them both hurt and beaten. Because Xena got hurt, they could no longer work together as a police force. It was hard to see her go. But now that they were facing another problem together, Jerry was strong because of what they had been through, and he was determined to keep going. Jerry followed the signs, with Xena showing them the way. Each step brought them closer to the truth. There were tire tracks in the mud that pointed to an escape car, and the smell of blood in the air was a grim reminder of the horrible things they were trying to find out. With each new piece of proof, Jerry's resolution grew stronger, and he kept his focus on getting justice with all his might. When they went back to the police station to keep looking into it, Jerry ran into trouble from an unlikely source: the police captain. It was clear that he didn't like Zena and wanted Jerry to be taken off the case. But Jerry didn't give up. He was faithful to Zena and committed to telling the truth. Even though things were getting worse in the department, Jerry kept going because he was determined to see justice done no matter what. He was sure that they could handle anything as long as Zena was with them. Their bond was stronger than any force they faced. At the end of the investigation, Jerry was looking down the barrel of a gun. The captain's betrayal hurt him deeply. But even when he was in danger, Jerry stood strong. He wasn't going to give up. He faced the captain head-on with Zena by his side. Their fight showed how strong friendship and loyalty can be. When everything was over and the truth came out, Jerry and Zena came out on top, their bond stronger than ever. Jerry knew that he and Zena had overcome their biggest task yet and come out on top. The case was over and justice was done. Their eyes met as they stood next to each other, a quiet sign of how much they had been through together. No matter what the future holds, Jerry knows that he and Zena will face it together. Their bond was strong and could not be broken. After the captain was caught and the truth came out, Jerry and Zena felt like the story was over. They thought about the path that had led them to this point as they stood in the wake of the investigation, their bond stronger than ever. Jerry's return was a sad reflection for Zena of the life they used to share together. Even though many years had passed and they had been through a lot, Zena had proven herself over and over again as they worked through the case's twists and turns. Her instincts had led them through the worst times. Finding out that the captain had betrayed him was a hard reality check for Jerry. It reminded him that there was corruption in the police force, but Jerry found comfort in the fact that his partner, Zena, would always be there for him, even when things went wrong. Working together, they faced their fears and came out stronger. Jerry knew that Zena's place was with him as they got ready to go their separate ways again. But as they went off into the distance, their story continued. It was a story of friendship, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between a man and his trusty partner.